You mentioned kind of the power of creators, which is interesting. And then we talked about Metacritic. And I'm curious, Colin, when you're trying to judge a game, where are you typically going to go read about it?
I well, honestly, because I work in the business, I get my gaming news through LinkedIn and my normal day job of reading, just kind of seeing what's happening in the analysis of just like the industry writ large. So I'm a bit of a weird one, to be quite frank. But like where I do think people get their information, it's like I always index to my normie family members, right? So I have a sister-in-law who's a diehard Xbox gamer. So I always ask her like what's going on. And she'll typically say, "Oh, I saw this on TikTok," or I see this on YouTube and YouTube Shorts. So like I think that's where people more or less get the news and or their kind of information on what's going on in gaming. So that's why I like harken on the Shroud bit. So like here's like my larger thesis. Like Metacritic matters more so because it's a tale of it measures games of consequences, right? So I did like I'm gonna put some of this in my piece, but like I'm not gonna claim that Metacritic score of giving Zelda Tears of the Kingdom a 90 and like above and Breath of the Wild is the reason why those games sold well. Like I don't think Zelda needs Metacritic. I don't think any Nintendo title needs Metacritic. They'll just sell what they sell. I don't think anyone goes to Metacritic and go, gosh, they really didn't like the last Zelda game. Better not buy it. Didn't hit that threshold I like, which is 90 plus, right? So I discount the high end of that. I also discount the fact that Metacritic generally is not kind to games that are really, really big. I haven't looked it up, but like historically speaking, I bet they're not very kind to Call of Duties, right? And even though they're like generally the best selling game absence last year, right? Like I think what Metacritic tells me is it does the game in question have a marketing team and a PR team. And what do I mean by that? There are hundreds of thousands of games that come out every year. There is no world in which a journalist could actually play and review them all. So how do they pick? You ask. Well, they get picked because they're big enough to be supported by a marketing and a PR team that then goes to the publication and says, "Hey, we got this thing going on. Would love for you to review it. We're going to give you early keys, yada yada yada." That takes people to do that, right? It's not just it just doesn't just happen, right? So to me, getting a grading is more indicative of does this game have budget behind it to promote it, right? Because so much other stuff just doesn't. So they just put it out there and hope to the Steam gods that the algo surfaces them up as the hot new indie thing, right? But beyond that, I don't think like I don't put much hard cadence into Metacritic other than saying broadly if it scores above an 80, it'll more likely do well than not do well. But like the exact score, I don't think really necessarily matters. I don't think millions of people are sitting down and watching Shroud's 8-hour stream on Highguard. Like that's not what's happening. But what does happen is that his 8-hour stream is content for other content creators, right? So then they will then take the community will typically slice and dice his live streams into clips. And then those clips will then get picked up by Deserto, which I think is a great publication in terms of like aggregating this stuff, or the Jake Luckies of the world who also could like find the stuff and aggregate it and like blast it on Twitter and other social platforms. I think what happens is these content creators create so much content because streams are long that they get aggregated in shorter form and they get blasted by aggregators like news aggregators like Deserto and Jake Luckies, etc. Or they just get like trended on TikTok, right? They end up on TikTok or other short form video platforms and they go viral. And that then leads into a broader sense of awareness. So when I say the creators are where the information comes from, it's not because people watch them. It's because they're exposed to them through osmosis through other means, right? They see the Shroud clip where he's like, I can't play this with my keyboard and mouse. And that has more staying power than any other moment within his 8-hour stream, right? Or the one where Tim the Tatman's friend with Ninja like goes, I can't play this game, I quit. That goes viral. That moment goes viral. And that's what gets the normies in the gaming industry. And like that's what I think about like that side. It's like it's the osmosis upwards. There's just so much content that there's so much virality to be had that their odds of going viral are much higher than a professional outlet trying to create content and putting it out there. So that's my thinking on that, right? So that's why I think the internet influences things. And so when the other side says, well, they're being mean, well, mm, are they? Because to me, I watch some of the content and it's like I think they're pretty fair about it when I actually listen to the content creator. Now, are the people who then take that content creator's content and then put their own spin on it, like this game is trash, are they being mean? Maybe, but like they're being informed by the actual moment of the creator with a community saying blah 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 XXX, right? in the case of Shroud, I can't use my keyboard and mouse on this game.
Yeah, the only problem is, right, when that creator is getting paid to play the game, and, that's it's a
Can I
fine
add to that
line.
then? And that can I add to that? And
Yeah.
that's the biggest tell for me. It's like if a game works or not. And this is market economics. Shroud, and sorry, Shroud, man. If you and your team listen to this, I'm not trying to pick on you. I'll just say Lyric, Lyric has got a mansion, man. He's got to pay property taxes on this thing. He's got to make a dollar, right? So he takes his money to play a game because he's a business, right? Content creators are businesses like TV networks, right? And this is just a form of ad content. So I'm not knocking it. I used to work in that space. I get it, right? But well, then the tell is if they actually like the game and their community likes the game, more importantly, they will keep playing it afterwards. How many hours did Shroud put in at Arc Raiders after he was done being paid to play Arc Raiders? A good jillion. He was so far on like saying this is the game of the year. I hate Expedition 33. How the heck is Arc Raiders not the game of the year? He was super passionate about that game. That wasn't paid. That was organic. And what keeps them honest on the organic side is if the community doesn't like what they're playing. Like if they feel that the game sucks and he's just forcing it, then there's a million other choices of content creators to go. So it's pure market economics at play with like the Shrouds and the Lyrics and these other streamers. Like if they don't play games that the community enjoys engaging and watching and playing themselves, they will go to the other people that are playing the games they are playing and watching and enjoy playing themselves. So they, for better or worse, they're trapped. There's an interesting quote, I think, from XQC who said like something to the effect of, I miss the old days of Twitch when I could variety stream anything, but now I'm locked into these big games that I have to play. Yep. I'm 100% because the eyes want to go what they like, and then they will go where they, and if you don't do what they like, they'll just go on to the next thing, right? And that's pure economic, pure market, man. I love it. It's like, yeah, attention's a market and they are operating that market. And that's why I think that's what I look for when I look at content creators is, are they actually playing the game after they're done being paid for play it, right?